Катя, как... Катя, ты меняешь с Машей камнями? Нет.
What can we expect to see from this matchup, Alison?
Well, Russia is in need of some wins. They, like you said, being at 3 losses, that's kind of a do or die situation for them right now. So that being said, we might see them play it a little bit defensive, keep the game a little bit close. Just make sure we're not giving up any big ends and hoping to sneak out a win of this Scottish team, who of course is at 1-4 right now. So sometimes teams that are at the bottom, they've got nothing to lose. The pressure's off a little bit. And I think we might have a really good game ahead of us today.
Rachel Hannon just throwing that first straw to the forefoot. Yekaterina Kozmina will throw the hit, so we'll have a bit of an open end. I think we've seen more of the women's games, if anything, play open ends. We've seen a couple of the men's games, they just go out putting guards up early on. Like in our previous broadcast, we saw USA put up the corner guard, but in the end, giving up a steal of 3 to Norway. So definitely different ways of doing it. Maybe throwing a few rocks and getting a little more comfortable with the ice. We'll see Scotland just draw to the house again here with Rachel Hannon's second stone.
Of course, the Russians do have a little bit of a lineup change that they did for the last game as well. So again, with this do or die situation, the coach opting to switch up a few of the players.
I think especially Russia in general have a tendency to mix up the teams a lot. I'm not sure if it's always that beneficial. So even men's and women's, not juniors, we've seen them rotate the squad a lot over the seasons just to try and find that right formation, that right lineup. But if you keep changing it all the time, I'm not sure if it's going to help you too much. I know especially in Canada, you're very stuck to one position, aren't you?
Yeah, we are definitely. I think that the idea going into it is that you train as a team, you lose as a team, and obviously the alternate is there to assist in any way possible. Ooh, big miss there. A lot of the time, sometimes you can talk to the coach before going into an event and saying, if someone's struggling, what's the protocol? Does the coach have the authority to take out the player? Is it the team's decision? That's a pretty important conversation to have before coming into these big competitions.
Rachel Halliday with that miss, leaving Russia a draw to split the house. So Maria Komarova, is it just enough to nibble the rings, perhaps?
I don't think so. No, but they're not taking any chances. It is quite splittable, being up there at the front.
Sophie Jackson just indicating that she would like a hit and roll off the top one here. Is it? Do you think it's important to specialize in one position of a team?
Great shot. And there you go.
like Halliday here, specializing at second,
Definitely.
making those big shots.
Definitely. The second position, it's definitely super important to be able to throw those high weight hits in case you need to throw any double peels. At the same time, just like your vice, you're also needed to throw those crucial draws to the forefoot. So you've got to have quite a few shots in your repertoire, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of the modern curling. Every player on the team needs every shot available, don't they?
I think a lot of the time at the second position, the double peel and the run backs have been a pretty crucial thing to have in your back pocket nowadays.
But still also having the ability to play those draws and set up the end for your team.
Absolutely.
I think, like in very many sports, you might see that the team is only as good as your weakest link, sort of. Every player is just as important. And it's very much a team game, as we see Maria Baksheva, third for Russia, make the open hit.
Sorry. Молодец.
We'll have third player Naomi Brown here. With the in-turn hit.
Talked a little bit last game about curling families. She's got quite a few as well related to her.
And yeah, she has sister Abby Brown. It's played a number of events. I believe also her dad, an accomplished curler.
World Junior Champion, Olympics, 5-time European champion. Not a bad role model.
Well, Naomi Brown has played a few juniors herself, the last two actually. Getting that silver medal as a third for Gina Aiken last year in Tallinn, just losing out to a very strong Kelsey Rock from Canada. Improving on the record from the year before, where they finished 8th with 3 wins in 2014, Flims. So here we have Sophie Jackson playing fourth rocks for Team Scotland. They won the Scottish Nationals back home, beating Katie Murray's team. Katie Murray, of course, then the alternate for this team this week. Seems to be the trend that you pick a player from the team you win against in the final. Very often, anyways.
Да, у него был где-то средний.
Потому что Фрэнка. Шо?
Juliana Vasilyeva, skip of Team Russia.
Who was throwing vice stones earlier in the competition. But now she's been moved up to throwing the last 2 rocks of the end.
Well, she played fourth rocks last year in Tallinn.
Yep.
And speaking of Tallinn, she's actually from a tiny little town called Slantsy in Russia, very close to the Estonian border. Residing in St. Petersburg, though. Sophie Jackson from Dumfries, Scotland. I've seen Dumfries host a few tour events in recent years. Very close to the English border. South Scotland. So able to go there last season to play myself.
I was there 2 weeks ago.
For a mixed doubles event.
Yes. It was a very beautiful town.
So down to the last stone here. Not too much happening in this first end. Especially after a very nice double by Rachel Halliday. So Uliana Vasilyeva is looking for the blank to keep last stone advantage. Oh, that looks pretty good.
And we'll have a blank on the board.
I'll teach you one Russian word. Nichiwo. Means nothing. So if they're calling line saying that, it looks good. Or a little high, on the high side.
Or maybe not if you don't want to touch it.
That's about to the extent of my Russian though, so I'm not sure if I'll be picking up too much.
No. Myself.
Obviously we'll be able to understand the Scottish girls.
I think our best bet is to look at body language.
I just went to the Youth Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway. In February, we did see in the mixed doubles competition where they pair up players from different nations. So in the semi-finals, we had all the girls in the 4 semi-final teams from Asia, not really speaking too much English, and they were obviously very capable of being able to communicate using hand signals and just everything. So, and obviously making the semi-final.
Yep.
So, don't always need
what
to.
A great event.
It's good. And we'll have another open end here. It's rolling out in that occasion. Scotland then with a chance to throw up the centre guard now if they want to. Although I think Sophie Jackson just calling for another draw into the top 4.
That is quite a bit of ice they're taking.
Yeah, I guess this sheet works very much the same as the other end sheet we saw earlier today. It curls a lot coming from the board and in towards the centre line, and then perhaps a bit less curl the other way. Would you agree?
I would agree. Yeah, I think we're going to see what we saw on sheet A, just mirror image.
Rachel Hannon will join Eve Muirhead when they go to Swift Current for the World Women's Curling Championship. Swift Current, Saskatchewan, Canada. That's definitely...
That's a great honor.
Good honor, and should be a great experience.
Absolutely. Something that she can bring back to her team after. Provide them with all the experience that she had witnessed during the event and all the things to expect.
Yeah, everything from just routines and playing schedule and knowing what to do in between draws. And even just feeling confident being in a setting like that. I think it helps a lot. Talked about, just touched on Rachel Halliday's father, winning the World Junior Curling Championships back in 1986, playing third for David Aiken, beating Kevin Martin in the final back then. Robin Halliday, her father's name. So I should have some good advice. Of course, coaching the team this week.
Does slip a little bit deeper than the girls had expected, calling out 5-6, meaning a top 8, top 4 weight. Those, of course, being zone systems from zone 1 all the way through 10, from the just over the hog line to the back of the 12-foot.
We talked about how Russia needed to win a game here to keep themselves in a situation where they can reach the playoffs. Scotland, on the other hand, probably thinking about avoiding relegation at this point. Having 3 teams relegated to the World Qualification event.
Russia winning the Junior B this past season to qualify themselves. So it is that extra step, and does create a certain amount of pressure on these teams to try and stay within that top half of the standings. Very, very open first couple ends here.
Well, when there's not too much happening here, maybe there's any scores elsewhere in the Castrop Curling Hall, Alison?
Absolutely. Starting off on sheet A, we have a matchup between Hungary and Japan. Hungary taking 1 point in the first end, so leading 1-0. Sweden versus Korea. Korea stealing 1 in the first end, so leading 1-0. Canada versus the United States. No score on the board there. It will be a blank in the first. Sheet D, we have Switzerland versus Turkey. Switzerland taking a 2-pointer in the first end to lead 2-0. And that leads us back to our sheet.
Maria Baksheva from Moscow. Enjoys traveling. So I think Moscow would be a good hub to get here and there. And also curling, a very nice hobby if you like to go and see the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, curling, you get the privilege and the opportunity to curl in some fantastic places, including here this weekend, or this week, sorry, here in Denmark.
Yeah, just Copenhagen, a couple of metro stops away, just by Kastrup Airport here in Tårnby. Actually could have walked from the terminal to the club. It would take you probably 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, the team's arriving a few days before the competition, so they got a little bit of a chance to tour around the area and see what Copenhagen has to offer.
The Little Mermaid.
Yep.
And everything.
Yep.
Да, на ноль. Очень сильно делали просто.
Да. Ноль. Контроль.
Да.
Оу. Слип.
Да.
Оу. Оу. Поднять.
Воу.
Ничего.
Да. Да. Да.
Looking for that roll just to make the hit a little more difficult for Scotland. Thinking maybe they could jam it on the back yellow there. Oh, gotta make sure not to over curl too much here.
Control. Yeah.
Yeah, so now Scotland's going to attempt to make that roll as well.
Control. Yep. 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 Hard. Go. Yep. Hard. Right. Take it over. If you can. Okay. That's good. It's okay.
Just makes the nose hit. So this will leave the hit and roll out for another blank here in the second end.
Спасибо.
Только сначала не это.
Не
Не
бросаться.
паникуйте, да. Тут прямо очень идет. О, там.
Оу.
Есть плей.
Last rock here in the second.
Есть.
And she'll grab a piece of it, and it will be a blank on the board.
Давай сбавь чуть-чуть веса. И ты
Чуть-чуть
тоже.
это бросанула
Да.
сейчас.
А ты закрылась, ну,
Да,
перевелась сильно. Эта сторона больше валит, а это прямая, выше и сильнее хреначится. Ладно, давайте.
Нормально.
Да, то же самое, просто повнимательнее с весом.
Да,
Может,
вторая
чуть-чуть
шутерная,
чуть-чуть слабее. У нас есть ошибка перевала, а мы не доваливаем и клируем.
See? Yeah.
We'll see what she wants here. Didn't see if she wanted top four or tight on this one.
4, 5, 4.
Sounds like we're going in the rings again.
Hard. Right here. Take Hard, Naomi.
So now it'll be up to
Right to 4.
Russia to decide whether or not they're going to have another open end or throw a guard, and I believe we are throwing the hit once more.
0.
What's the benefit of playing such an open game?
Well, like I said before, I think that keeping the score close, perhaps they're trying to blanket and just go hard in the fourth end. It's hard to say, but perhaps they've been having some troubles with their draw weight and hoping to capitalize on a hit-miss instead.
Just a very cautious approach to score 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Did get one miss from Scotland early on. But then they made the double, so did get a blank end.
And what a great double that was.
Okay. Fine. Good. That's fine. Good.
Little hit and stick.
Это сильно. Молодец.
Just enough to stick around. Back 12.
Это вес как пил был. Да. Это вес пил был.
Controlled.
Take your time.
Rachel Halliday,
Yeah. Yeah.
curling 75% at the moment.
Oh. Good. Good. Good.
Makes the hit and stick in the back. Maria Komarova, also throwing 75 so far. Ooh,
Слабо.
Это было на нос.
Was initially alternate for the World Junior B Curling Championships this year. Komarova went on to play 2 games against Romania and Czech Republic, winning both.
yeah, and got put in to play last game. When they played against Japan. They had, with their 2 wins so far, so they've won against Japan and Switzerland. Switzerland, we were able to catch the last couple shots of that end, and it was a pretty tight match. Switzerland having a missed shot on her last to give Russia the win on that one. Looked like a heartbreaker for the Swiss skip.
Yep, Swiss girls currently on 2 wins, 3 losses. Same as Russia. Looks like Canada and Korea with those 5 wins. Looking pretty solid for those top 2 spots. And USA to follow with 4 wins. Might just be those 5 teams at 2 and 3 now fighting over that last spot at the playoffs. If things progress as they have been this week so far.
Naomi Brown at 75%.
So Naomi Brown having Abby Brown, older sister, playing at the World Juniors before she's been able to. And you have younger sisters, don't you, Alison?
I do.
Have you been able to pass on any helpful experience onto your sisters, like maybe Abby has with Naomi?
I like to think I do sometimes. But my sister did play at the World Junior Championships with me, alongside with Rachel Holman's team in 2010 when it was in Flims, Switzerland.
I remember.
Yes. I was very proud of her.
Just control it, wait.
Wait, sir.
Yeah. Oh! Solid barrier! Oh!
Definitely seeing a lot of the same family names
Oh!
at the juniors, like we had in our previous game with USA Norway. So Fensen, Ramsfjell, Vågberg, and so on. And for everyone that's followed curling for a few decades, whenever they go to a World Juniors, they might see a surname, family name, and think, "Oh, that she or he's got to be related to him or her."
Yeah.
Do a lot of investigation, and it's always fun to see the next generation at work.
Well, you've got to grow up seeing them with their successes that they've had, and you know it's got to be such an inspiration for them to want to achieve the same things that their family members have.
Of course, big traditions for curling in Scotland and Canada. Maybe not as much in Russia. In comparison, a very new sport for Russia. Not too many generations of curlers yet. Curling, of course, a very old sport,
No, I think you're good there.
dating back to the 1500s. Sophie Jackson enjoying a good game so far, not having too many difficult shots though. We've had a few very open ends.
Just looking for an open hit here.
And she'll stay at 100% after that.
Главное,
Мы
шут
что, дабл
расставить.
бьем?
Главное, шут
Мы что,
расставить.
дабл бьем?
Я думаю, что мы бьем дабл, если что, оставляем стей. Только щетка многовато, мне кажется, стоит, нет?
Мы еще ехали.
I think you picked a one word there, Alison.
Главное шута расставить.
I think I picked up double, and that was about it. Yeah, it's definitely not a language that I have any experience in. But thankfully, we do have some helpers here in the back.
Trying this double here. Very close. Oh, but not quite enough.
Oh, just needed to go a little bit more.
Control. Just was it barrier last time? I think it was in between the two.
And Scotland can't really afford to roll away too much without jamming on the red one. They might just try and nose it, or maybe they might look to roll the other way.
Just a similar weight to last. Was it like solid barrier? I got 50. Just please solid barrier. Solid barrier. Okay. Yeah.
So the team taking a a nice softer weight approach. So she said solid barrier, which of course in North American terms is solid board. That's my translation for you.
Does find a nose hit. And I believe we will have our first score of the game.
Мне кажется, не очень.
Yet to be determined who
Здесь возила, когда на раскатке мы
who
кидаем.
will have that score. Russia, though, with the out-turn draw, looking to score a single. She's got some real estate to work with, just needing an above the 8 foot to score her one. First draw for the Russian skip, having thrown 5 takeouts. Could be a little sketchy, having only played a draw in pre-practice. But we've seen the ice be very consistent for speed, which definitely helps her in this case. Well, she'll find the 4 foot quite easily. And Russia scores 1. Scotland will get the last on advantage when we enter the 4th end. As I think the girls are just mixing up their grippers a little bit. If you haven't watched that much curling, for curling shoes, you have one that grips to the ice, one slider, usually made out of Teflon. And of course, when we're walking around in the dressing rooms and so on, don't want to
scratch it?
Yeah, don't want to scratch the slider, so we have this gripper, anti-slider.
As you'll see on the backboard there.
Mm-hmm. It's also useful maybe when you're in the house skipping, so you don't have to slip and slide all over the place. And some will use it to sweep with as well. Like if you've seen Brad Jacobs' team, who won the Olympics in Sochi. They all use their grippers when they sweep. And then you have some that slide. Like Mark Kennedy and Ben Hebert.
The classic duo.
Exactly. Of course, you take it off before kicking out the hack to throw your rock, which is the main purpose of sliding. If you go back to the day, they didn't do that. They would just stand pretty much upright and lift the stone, sort of make it pivot, and chuck it down the ice.
It sounds difficult.
It sounds like it might hurt your back after a while.
That was my next comment. I
You will
wonder
see.
how their backs were doing after that.
If you go only a few decades back in time, you'll see most players with that little backswing for every shot, although having quite similar slides like today. But with the ice being so quick, it's not really necessary anymore. And you rarely see players with a backswing. I don't think we have any player in the field this week here at the juniors doing it.
No.
Haven't seen any so far.
No, we do not.
I know one of the Norwegians does it sometimes, but I'm not sure if it's a regular thing. Sort of dying out a little bit. If you're interested in seeing how curling used to be in the old days, I urge you to look up a little documentary from Naseby, south of New Zealand, called Gone Curling. Nice little documentary about a local community there that plays curling like they used in the old times.
4-8. Дом. Приз. Это зайти. Приз. За, мне кажется. Нет, ничего. Нет, это правильно. За зайти. Да, линия.
It's nice to do both, I think. You ever played outdoors curling, Alison?
I haven't. It's still on my bucket
Really?
list. Yeah.
Лес был такой же, как прошлый по секундомеру, только ты
Yeah, I would love to.
Just normal.
There's the annual one in Moscow if I'm not mistaken.
Red square classic. Yep, right in this red square. They'll be able to play curling. But I do also believe they have skills up in the Alps, of around Switzerland, Italy.
No, I would love to. One day.
You and me both. So we're getting some stones in play here in the fourth end. Corner guard in play. Yeah, Rachel Hannon looking for that hit and roll. But most importantly, keeping that shooter around.
Давай с аутом. Ошибка в перевал, Маш. Да, я понимаю.
Так, не торопись, можно послабее.
Да, тут прямо идет. Чуть меньше.
Seemed a little bit inside out there, perhaps.
Нет. Нет, 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 ничего нельзя, нет.
You'll see some teams try and sweep with the curl there to get a little extra swing. Doesn't seem like Team Russia has implemented that sweeping technique.
No, a few of the teams we've seen have been implementing that, but hasn't been the common trend that we've seen. More often than not, teams aren't using it this week.
Scotland drawing on the end turn here. Slipping a little bit deep, but enough to lie to.
Гард, гард, они выбивают нас.
-2 уже, у нас будет -3.
Мне кажется, надо вести.
Yeah, not being able to see much of this. Of course, she's coming from the right hack. So her line is a little bit different from what we see here in the camera angle.
Может, побольше? Я думаю, лед нормально катится. Если что, мне скажите. Так, средняя.
Если что, скажите, я просто еще ни разу не разу.
So a little bit reluctant to draw around the guard. Any reason why that might be?
Drawing around, you don't have hammer here in the fourth end, so at the risk of hitting into the open, or in this case, maybe even throwing it through the house. Oh my. Could be setting up for multiple points for Scotland now.
Yeah, allowing Scotland to come around that corner guard once more.
It was a big, big mistake.
This is a golden opportunity for the Scots. Need to make sure this one is in front of the tee line. If you're ever deep here, Russia can play a freeze and get shot stone. If you keep it high, even a freeze would not give Russia the shot stone, or the best stone, closest to the center of the house. This one pretty good, I think. And you can see that yellow stone to the left might be a little troublesome for Russia.
I do believe she was able to bury a piece of that.
Oh, big trouble for Russia here.
And of course, if she was to freeze to that top one, she wouldn't be 1, 2, or 3. So a bit of a problem here. I believe they were contemplating the peel on the very last shot, but elected to throw the draw instead. But I do believe I heard a little bit of back and forth whether or not one or the other was the shot to call.
Well, definitely I didn't mind peeling the guard. You see how much trouble you get yourself into when you start playing around those corners without glass stone. Oh, this might just be a very good shot here. Very close to making a double. Just over curled a fraction.
Молодец.
Still a very good shot by Baksheva. Kind of choking off that draw around the corner again.
I don't think I like coming around it.
Yeah, as long as you're 8 foot on this side.
As long as you're 8 feet on that side, yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
T-line or further. Okay.
Slow slide, good release.
Aim for T-line and then sweep it back.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
So drawing to the open side to try and tempt the Russian team to hit the open one instead of playing to the wing, to the one around the corner guard, which might end up taking away these multiple point scorers that Scotland has going for them right now.
Just bowling up a little short. He's looking to put that in behind the tee line. Just enough to outcount the yellow one on the far wing.
Лучше так? Ну, если что, тогда уж смотри.
Looks like Russia is still considering making a play on it though.
Маш, я думаю, средняя.
Not liking all these red stones in the house.
Средний.
Дабл бьем.
Да. Да, да, да! Очень надо, да! Да!
Oh, this one over curling big time. Ends up jamming on their own yellow on the side there.
Нормально. Закрыла.
Almost got a lucky redirect on that other red. Had she hit it a little bit thinner.
Seems like just better release.
Same call for Scotland. Didn't really change things too much.
Seven. Place all there. Hold in. 7, 8.
Calling 7.
8, 9.
Should be T-line.
Yes.
8.
And 8 being back 4.
I believe 8 is what they want here. Not swinging huge, but finds a nice spot. Even in front of that redstone, that might not be a bad thing. Could make it just a touch harder for Vasilyeva.
Я тебе вот так где-то поставила.
Got to make sure not to jam it here.
Я думаю, что нормально. Но нам нельзя
She might
по
have to
дивану.
roll the shooter out of play,
Да, давай тогда чуть пошире.
leaving Scotland to maybe draw the same out turn once more.
Валит.
Well, the one thing about jamming it head on to that back one would be that her shot stone would also be right in front of that back red.
Well, not if
Maybe.
she overcurls.
That's true.
I think definitely make sure you're high side here, if anything.
Yeah.
Make
no,
the
you're
double.
right with those angles.
Да. Да. Да.
Look, sounds all tight.
Да. Очень надо.
And that's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly what you said. It's like you can see the future. You're so wise.
Usually better in hindsight.
If we roll, that's okay.
Yep. Scotland will have now 3 counters all in the back of the 8-foot, which isn't probably what they had in mind.
Is there anywhere you can roll to that makes it a little better for them?
It's tough because you don't want to roll too much to the left-hand side and leave a pocket for them to draw down to.
Yep. Yeah.
I guess maybe you could just roll it to the right,
To the center line side.
leave her a double, and at least you score your 2.
I think that's what I'd be inclined to do instead of the other way. The other way, you might be forced for 1.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to hit and roll to the right-hand side and she makes the double, you just have an open hit for 2.
Do you like this side?
Maybe even a draw.
Yeah.
Of course, if she rolls away from our camera here, it will be question time for Vasilieva. Does she want to hit the open red and concede 3? Or play the draw and risk giving up 4? Could be wanting to put some pressure on Russia here.
This is really curling.
A little soft here on the curly bit. Oh, it does get earlier. Redirection just a little too much. That was a huge opportunity missed by Sophie Jackson. Well, no wonder. It is a bit slanted from the barrier and in towards the other sheets.
I thought it was quite tight ice, but I thought they'd be able to hold it.
Played a lot of weight there too. Definitely could have played that soft barrier, taken a little more ice, maybe had a bit more control also.
Perhaps a learning lesson for them in the next couple ends. Something that perhaps they can take into another time that they have to throw in the same path, or at least on the curling side there.
Well, at least there's my hindsight back.
Yep.
Like I told you.
Yep.
Russia hitting to line 2. There's still a chance for them to leave a double, but this time rolling too far. Does she see enough of this yellow in the back? I think she does.
I think so, since she nicks
Oh yes,
the guard.
definitely.
Inside's probably better.
Probably a nose hit should do.
Yeah.
Probably just the similar ice. I think there, give you a little bit more.
Maybe that, because
Yeah.
nose is okay.
Yeah.
And even if we go that way, that should be okay.
Okay.
Can I have a touch more? Yeah.
The 3 or 4 clearly out the window, but I think they'll be quite happy scoring 2 here, considering how they blanked first 3 ends. Just feels like a big score in such a game.
Yeah, is that a shade more than the last one? Yeah, that's good.
Important shot here for Sophie Jackson.
Last stone here in the 4th end.
And this one will overcurl. It will be enough to score 1. And it will be a tied game. Of course, not blanking those first 3, as I said, but Russia scoring 1 in the 3rd.
That's fine.
So it will be a tied game after 4. And we're
Yeah.
pretty much
More ice than that.
where we started.
Like,
Tied and Russia with hammer.
it looks pretty solid when it came down.
Do you have a favorite for the game so far? You feel like the momentum's on one of the sides, or
I'd say it's pretty equal right now.
yeah?
I think both teams are struggling a little bit with figuring out the lines, but I think they're getting a pretty good grip of it now. I overheard Scotland at the rest in between ends here that they were discussing that they need to give each other a little bit more ice on the curling side because they believe that the weight there that they threw was quite solid, and the only reason is they're just not icing enough. So good conversation. Ekaterina Kuzmina. Throwing the hit.
Молодец.
So I think we're going to have another open end here, Sander.
Yeah, it certainly looks like Russia's implementing that good old tactic of blanking through the game, keeping hammer for the 10th end.
At least for the even ends. So
Well, they did blank the second also.
they did.
But I can understand if they're going to keep it open, they might as well blank the 5th end and rather try and score in the 6th. Trying to have last one advantage once more than your opponent for the second half of the game.
Yeah, Russia having a few games that definitely got away with or got away from them. Having a 10-4 loss against the Canadian team and 11-2 loss to the United States. So perhaps just keeping a defensive strategy, wanting to keep the game very close, and just like you said, trying to ensure hammer in the even ends so that they have the advantage coming home. Give you an update on the other sheets. We have a tied game on sheet A between Japan and Hungary at 3-3 going into the 5th end. Sweden versus Korea. Korea is up 3-2 with hammer in the 4th end right now. Canada versus the United States. Canada taking a 2 in the 3rd end, blanking the 4th, and in the 5th still running right now, so it is 2-0 Canada. Sheet D, Switzerland versus Turkey, and it is a 2-2 game in the 4th end now. Switzerland with hammer.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Плюс был. Я не знаю, мне кажется, ты широко едешь.
Liana Vasilyeva has enjoyed a few good games against Scotland at the World Juniors in prior years, beating Gina Aiken last year in Tallinn with Evgenia Demkina, and also beating Gina Aiken 2 years ago in Flims when the team was hit by Alina Kovalyeva. looking to make it 3 times in a row. Well, Sophie Jackson's rink could be the first to beat Russian skip.
It's coming now. It's okay. Good.
Воу, воу. Нет! Ничего! Нет! Нет!
Молодец.
Solid barrier!
Whoa. Push, yeah. Whoa. Go. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Scotland just looking to throw the hit and stick, and they do that.
Свип! Да. Очень надо, да. Да!
Да, до конца.
Да.
Да, до конца. Да.
Из-под этого камня прям снег сыпется.
Молодец, супер.
Из него снег сыпется. Из него снег сыпется. Ты сейчас ударила, и под ней снег вылетит.
У него это, да, каемка торчит.
Control.
Yeah.
Just a nice control weight for out on the sides here. Being the straighter side.
You talked about how Russia is quite
Solid barrier!
a new curling nation, of course, with the curling being dated back in the 1500s in Scotland.
Okay.
The Royal Caledonian Curling Club was first founded in 1966, while the Russian Curling Federation was first officially a member of the World Curling Federation back in 1992. So, not so old.
No, not at all. But they've definitely been making a pretty dominant appearance on the world stage.
Well, on the women's side, Russia has participated at the World Junior Curling Championships 18 times,
8. Маша! Дом есть! Маша!
winning a gold medal back in 2006 when the team was skipped by Lyudmila Privikova.
Давай.
Also on that team, Margareta Fomina, who throws third rocks for Anna Sidorova today, and also Ekaterina Galkina. Took a year off, I believe, this season to go sailing around the world, but she might be back with the Sidorova rink for next season.
How much does it swing down here?
Sounds like a great year to me. Pretty jealous.
Well, she had been playing quite a lot of games
She has, yeah.
through the years.
Sometimes you need to take a break.
Scotland has, Scotland women has participated at the juniors 29 times, so getting or winning the gold medal a whole of 9 times. through the years. Having Eve Muirhead win 4 of them. In 07, 08, 09, 11 and 12. Not 12, sorry. And 11. Not playing in 2010 because she was busy playing the Olympics. It's quite an astonishing record.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's upset she wasn't allowed to make it 5 World Junior Championships in a row.
She's a competitive girl. I'm sure she would have loved to play both.
Sure.
But not a bad reason to not go to the World Juniors.
Yeah, I believe she would have been still a teenager, skipping a team of 3 adult women in Vancouver.
Я на 0 сделаю.
Did medal on that occasion, but she did grab that bronze in Sochi 2 years ago. A player we've seen a lot of the athletes here this week list as their sporting idol, especially for the girls. As this last stone here will just be thrown through for Russia to keep last stone. And we're at the halfway point. Not too much action in the first half of the game. Very much a tactical approach by Russia to keep it tight. And we will be back with some highlights if we can find some. And of course the remainder of this afternoon game between Scotland and Russia here at the VoIP Defender World Junior Curling Championships 2016. just skipping along to the third end after 2 blanks between Scotland and Russia. Uliana Vasilyeva with the outturn draw finds the forefoot to score her 1. That would be 1-0 after 3. And the fourth end. A little more action as Sophie Jackson with a great chance to play a nose hit for 2, but will overcurl and just spring out the side door. Good enough for 1 though. And it's a tied game at 1 each, having blanked that fifth end as well. Teams just having a talk with their coaches and alternate players having a little snack. Some fruit, it seems. Did you have a favorite snack or drink when you're playing curling? You're nibbling on Skittles or eating nuts and fruit?
Definitely not Skittles. I think I would have been shot. Nuts, fruits, definitely nuts. But I mean, one of the things you'll see in women's curling way more often than you'll see in men's, and I don't know if you've noticed, but they have a little powwow on the floor. Everyone sits down and has fruit and snacks and sits and has a scrum, whereas the men typically stand, and they always seem to make fun of the girls for sitting down, but I think it's nice getting off your feet for a couple minutes.
All different ways of doing it.
Yeah. Very important to get your energy up for the next 5 ends, though. It can be a very long time on the ice, and need to make sure that you have the energy to support you through the rest of it.
Yeah, definitely a long game. Most of these curling games last about 2.5 hours, so important to keep hydrated. And at halftime, a good chance to just get some fuel.
Yeah, don't want to be having any fast sugars that will quickly leave your system. So no chocolate, no Skittles.
Steak and fries, maybe?
Yeah, no steak and fries. I don't think you'll have a lot of energy eating.
Is that too on the heavy side?
Yeah, a little on the heavy side.
Looks like we're witnessing a pretty open end again. So surely both coaches quite happy with how the teams are playing. Both wanting the same thing, as we see the Scotland banner with all the players' names. That seems to be a tradition. I've seen that at every World Junior Curling Championships.
Nice to have the support of everyone.
Yes. We haven't heard them too much. They're behind the glass. Fortunately or unfortunately, all depends on how you look at it.
They sure make their presence known. They always have a lot of songs, and it's great having for being a player. It's great having the amount of support on the ice, cheering you on, making you feel like $1 million.
Well, I'm sure you had that from playing for Canada.
Yes, we had our fair share of cowbells in the stands.
I wasn't sure Canada did cowbells. I thought that was only Switzerland.
No, we had the cowbells.
So we'll have a sort of a corner guard in play. I'm not sure if that was a call. I would just assume so. I don't think they would miss the house by 20 feet. Scotland, though, very happy to peel the guard and keep things clean. Well, that was a classic Alison Kraviazuk shot. The peel tick.
Peel tick.
Although I think you would have gotten it a little closer to the board.
Я думаю,
thank
сейчас
you.
хорошо катится.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. No, that's what I'm going to be known for.
Yeah, Lisa Weagle for the tick shot and Alison for the tick peel.
Wow. I'm so talented.
I'm sure you just throw those to show off.
Yep. I can make this, but gonna make it.
Russia not feeling like that corner guard is worth too much, so they'll throw another one. So maybe their coach just telling them, you know, we'll keep it simple, but as soon as Scotland rolls out, I'd like for you to put up a corner guard and try and get an easy deuce, considering how it is the sixth end. It would be a nice time to score. Could that make sense, Alison?
Yep, I would say so.
While, on the other hand, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw during Scotland's scrum, couldn't quite hear what they were talking about. But maybe they're considering forcing Russia to blank the sixth end and then try and force them to score in the seventh. Could very well be the plan. Now coming into the later stages of the game.
Yeah, well,
Playing the scoreboard, especially when you're only tied at 1.
I think the problem is, though, is that I think you've got both teams who want to try and do that. So you've got one team that's wanting to blank one end, the other one trying to blank another, and we're seeing a lot of blanks on the board.
Yeah, well, tension is certainly there.
Absolutely.
It's very hard to pick a winner at this point. Scotland doing a good job with their peels. Especially when you play such an open game with so few stones in play. Those shots just become even more important, don't they, Alison?
They do, indeed. One missed peel and opportunity arises.
25! 25! 25! Маша!
Yeah, certainly not too many plan Bs either. When you play a game with lots of stones in play, you'll very often have options. Here you're just going to have to make the perfect shot.
Молодец.
Nothing else. Oh, this is a bit of a teaser.
Yeah.
I've seen this sometimes when you put the corner guard too tight to the rings, your opponent might try the hit and roll into the house, and sometimes being a little too cute with it, end up nosing, leaving a guard.
Yeah, of course, the tolerance on this is to roll very far, if not roll out altogether. The hit and roll in is great, but
Another crevé shot. Just tick that one sideways, and as you said, that was probably the tolerance there.
yep. Mind you, that was pretty close to
Ошибка в гард!
missing it altogether.
Может,
Я
такой же сделать?
поменьше встану, потому что тут не
But
валит.
guard is in play, I'd say.
Примерно такой же.
And considering how it curls a bit less coming towards the board, might not be so easy to follow if they bury this one. Maybe even they'd like to over-bury the draw. Make it a bit harder for Scotland.
12!
Комарик,
Да-да-да!
комарик!
Давай, очень надо!
Маша!
Надо 26! 8 футов! 12! 12!
Plan B here would be to maybe just stop short
26! Маша,
and leave a tight guard.
Стираем, дай! Да-да-да-да!
Да-да-да, надо, девочки, да-да-да!
And that's what they have done.
Not a bad result, depending on how much you can see. Just a little wide on the brush there, and as you said before, it's a little
You
unforgiving,
can hold it
the
too.
straight side, so doesn't tend to move too much on you. So you would have to get pretty tight to that guard just to wrap one around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the size.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is wide open and more, as we can see here.
So again, wanting to play the hit and roll into the house. And if they do so, Russia probably not ignore the Scottish stone and having to make a play on it rather than have that freebie draw around the corner once more.
It's okay.
Okay.
Does roll a bit too far though. And I believe Russia will have another go at this draw.
And as you see, sorry, and as you can see with the line given,
Маша было 15.
or the ice given on the shot, it
Первый был 19, второй был
really doesn't
15.
move a heck of a lot, even with a draw.
Ну, добавила по-разному совсем.
Я думаю, сразу ты первая.
Да, хорошо.
Кажется, хорошо, да?
Ну да.
Well, I don't think that guard's too much in play here.
Да.
You probably afford to give yourself a little tight ice. And even if you overcurl, I think I'd much rather, if I was Scotland, be able to seal a bit on the centre line side rather than the outside. Having to come after it right up close to the board could be a little sketchy. Might be quite fresh and frosty out there. This one having a mile of room on the guard.
Да, валим, 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 девочки, валим. Да.
Maybe it's even, I was going to say, open enough to make a little flop in behind the guard, but Sophie Jackson indicating a roll towards the centre.
A solid barrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take that bit legs.
Okay.
It's really, really straight down.
Okay.
Really straight.
Okay.
Sticking straight here. Take the roll. Yep.
It's a pretty nice shot by Sophie Jackson. And we will see Russia go for the blank again. Like you mentioned, Alison, qualifying through the World Junior Curling B Championship this year. Russian girls have had to play that B Championship 3 times up through the years with a record of 23 wins in 24 games.
Wow.
Only having lost the final one of those 3 years. So certainly not the team or nation you want to have relegated if you're down in that B group. Waiting to see what opponents you might get for next season. As Vasilyeva making that hit and roll. She's been quite solid with these hits so far. Umpire just confirming that it is a blank end.
Хорошая слова. Что, давайте то же самое.
Мне кажется, не просить будут.
No, I'm a little intrigued to see what's going to happen in the 7th end. This might be a crucial
Я думаю,
one.
они будут дом. Да.
I would
Все сегменты они могут в дом играть.
If I were to bet,
I think 20. I think 20.
I would say we might see their
Even 25. I think it's just 2.
another blank on the board, perhaps. Russia trying to control the scoreboard like we talked about earlier.
Look solid. Look solid. Wait, it's okay.
Naomi's!
2. Go and swing it.
You need to swing it.
Hard.
Yeah, if I was Scotland, I would be tempted to throw a centre guard here. And they have. That could have very well been Robin Halliday's plan, coach of Scotland. And having won a World Junior Curling Championships himself back in '86. And also coaching Scotland at the '93 World Junior Curling Championships. At the time, Craig Wilson winning gold for Scotland. He also would go on to represent Great Britain at Winter Olympics in '06. And having Robin Halliday as a coach at the juniors there certainly helped them out, so he'll be a great addition to this team as well this week. Not very often you get a coach that's won a gold as a player and a coach.
No, that's a pretty good resume.
So as predicted, the 7th end might be a bit key, and we're seeing two teams wanting two very opposite things. This draw, just coming around that yellow, not the worst option. I was looking to put that on top of the yellow. Certainly better than just ticking off the yellow and leaving it in the open.
Give you a quick update on the other sheets. On sheet A, Japan is leading 4-3 over Hungary. Hungary having hammer here in the 6th end. Sweden versus Korea. Korea is up 4-3 over Sweden, and they will have the hammer here in the 6th end. Canada and the United States are both tied at 2-2. Canada with hammer in 6. Switzerland versus Turkey. Switzerland is up 5-3 on Turkey and will have hammer again in the 6th.
Well, this is what happens when you play hits all game. You might just lose your draw weight a wee bit. This one slipping. Well, actually, we'll hang on to the back 12. Russia not wanting to be sucked in behind that center guard play. Leaving one out in the wing just to put a little extra pressure on Scotland. And also leaving things all open. Needs to put this in a nice spot here, Halliday. That's not exactly what they were hoping to do. And I believe they have left a double here.
А может пил, Оль?
Так, но...
Пил.
Мы снимаем гард, это уже -3.
Давай, давай, борт!
Давай.
У нас будет центр закрыт. Если что, да, если что, да. Мне кажется, надо гард снимать.
Давайте только, если уже не идет
Ой.
на одну сторону, смотрите сразу,
Да.
чтобы не стоим.
Борт!
Maria Komarova, 55 so far in this match.
Yeah, just rolling out on a few takeouts.
Ты все, Маш?
Нормально было?
Нет, мне еще один.
This time stuffing the double. But does leave the shooter, so 3 yells in the house. Maybe looking slightly scary for Scotland, as it looks like they will play a hit and roll off of Komarova's stone.
Control, waist right up.
Hard! Right to it! Go, go, go! Hard, 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 hard.
Okay.
It's okay.
Just nosing.
А если мы туда привезем?
Если что,
Seems like Vassilieva's teammates
Уля, если что, пил, смотри.
are
Да, понятно.
Хорошо.
leaning a little towards peeling the guard,
Вот так 0.
trying to keep the blank alive.
Вот так где-то колодка.
Давай, сколько у меня сейчас было?
But I think they have agreed to play the little hit and roll off the back red
Хорошо, да пошире встань.
and sit 2.
Yeah, they'd be in a really good position with making the roll here.
Поднять!
Колодка!
Поднять!
Sideboard!
Нет,
Оу!
нет, 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 нет. Это мимо пока.
Свали. Вали, 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 вали.
Уля, оттирай! Да, 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 да.
Это сильнее, что ли, было?
Just corner, please. Yeah. Just so slight, good release. Okay.
There's a bit of a miss there. Just kind of ticking it and rolling over to the side. This is going to allow Scotland to put another rock here into the forfeit.
You're bumping it. 8, 9.
8-9, so the girls are calling out that it's going to be back 8.
Да, мне нравится фриз. Только если их фриз может лучше встать нашего.
Да.
Можем отыграться вправо от нижних камней.
От нижних сюда,
Да.
как вариант, только этот застрянет. Да, давай все равно колодкой. Я что сверху оставил?
на
Да.
больше валит.
Чтобы ролл получился
Да
побольше,
нет,
если
там
что.
так подмазано.
Главное наш не это.
Нам ролл можно большой туда, в принципе, взять бортом.
Тут больше валит. Да, тут валит.
Давай. Колодочка. Так. Маш, сразу легко тогда протирай.
So after a bit of a discussion there, looks like they will go on the out turn, trying to get those back reds. We'll get a bit of curl here. Didn't take too much ice.
This is going to just absolutely take off.
That's not what the doctor ordered.
I think if I were Russia, I'd be on that the entire way to try and at least split those 2 yellows. Because right now with the shooter sitting on top of
It's quite swingy.
theirs,
I like barrier.
We can still hold it at barrier now, mate. What? We can still hold it at barrier.
now they're going to be throwing a hit and roll here. And this is going to put a lot of pressure on Russia.
I think it's fair to say the blank's out the window.
Yeah, I think so. Good thing I didn't bet.
Right tip. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Whoa. No. Good.
Pretty good shot there.
That's good.
That was
Naomi Brown, our sporting idol, tennis player Andy Murray,
It's okay. I was like, they're pushing it out.
and also Chris Hoy. Both Rachel Halliday and Naomi Brown listing Chris Hoy as their idol.
Если что, просто ровно открытую.
Track cyclist, if you didn't know who Chris Hoy was, with a total of 7 Olympic medals, 6 gold, 1 silver. Most decorated Olympic cyclist of all time.
Wow.
It'd be hard to get 6 gold medals at curling, I'd say. You'd have to participate for, do the math, 24 years.
Это контрол.
That's a long time.
Поднять.
Good for him.
Поднять.
Holy moly.
Нет.
I'm sure he was able to participate in different disciplines per year, though.
Да.
Wow, great shot.
Молодец. Это был слабее нуля.
Well, that's the only tough thing about curling at the World Championships and Olympics. You only ever get to compete for that one medal.
right to your hand as well.
Look,
Well, now there are mixed doubles at the Olympics.
that's true. I'm not sure if they'll be able to play both though at the same time.
I don't believe so, but perhaps schedule has not been released. Obviously, being a couple years away.
Choose solid barrier. Okay. So like this size?
Yeah.
So you want to play solid or?
No, I'm just saying that's what she played. You can still hold it at barrier.
Okay.
Barrier down.
Yep. Yes. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. It's okay.
Wow. I did have that conversation in the hack about
Ну маленький ролл. Ну чуть-чуть ролл.
maybe throwing a little bit up weight,
Да. Средним.
but they both came to the agreement that board would have been sufficient.
Yeah, I don't think weight necessarily is the problem. It's just the amount of ice they're taking. You saw Russia also get sort of making a bit of a stumble on that as well.
Yeah, and that was something that they discussed in their scrum a few ends ago, if you can remember, talking about giving each other a little bit more ice.
Нам надо чуть-чуть вообще в перевал, потому что
Да,
иначе там
хорошо.
вот.
Сильнее нуля. Контроль. Это стейк.
Нет! Нет!
Молодец.
Oh, well, it does make the hit and stick
Это чуть-чуть
to lie
выше было.
3, it looks.
Он дальше стоит.
Я уж думала, блин, сейчас.
Я поздно пошла к этим камням.
Смотреть?
Try and roll.
Like, as deep as we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think so.
Try like this hand.
Think so. Yeah.
Control, just get roll.
To get. Yeah.
I do believe it is 3. Yes. There we go.
Can't really see any easy doubles. Maybe on the 2 yellows on the left-hand side. Not sure if
Yeah, this is good.
there's a jam there.
Size.
or not.
Yeah. No, this is good. Okay.
They are playing the hidden roll off the
Yeah, that's
off that third yellow
Long
though.
way to roll.
I guess they could either roll behind the other top yellow or maybe all the way in front of the back one.
Yeah, either one is a pretty good solution for them right now.
And this will run a little straight. He'll catch the high side. Fortunate to not jam in the back there. I think that's one of those overcorrections we've seen, having to throw her out turn on the curly bit, a little soft, over curling, and then that's what you keep in your mind for your next shot. Well, I'm not going to be soft, and get this one started, and then you kind of forget you're throwing it on the straight bit, and you're maybe a little over positive, and it's going to go straight on you and never coming back. I think I've seen that a few times already this week.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been very, very close on, well, she was very close on jamming on the back of that last one as well.
It could have been been a bit of a disaster. Not looking too good anyhow, as Russia now with last stone here in the 7th end, drawing for 3 to really blow open this game. Looking pretty good. Just back 4 there for Vasiljeva. And that's a big score. Scotland looking to force Russia to score here, and they have. We were just not planning on forcing them to take a 3. And I guess in some sense we can say that Russia's patience has worked out. Just waiting for Scotland to make the move, and well, taking advantage of the situation.
They have been able to capitalize on those misses that the Scottish team has been having. But then again, the Russian team has been missing a few shots too, and I think the difference is that the Scottish team just hasn't been able to capitalize on the other teams. So yeah, a bit of a tough game for the Scottish team here.
And so far, the game plan was maybe implemented by Russia's team coach, Irina Kolesnikova. Has worked out. Her as a coach has coached Russia to a gold medal at the World Championship, namely the World Mixed Curling Championship back in 2010. And we saw Peter Drawn pair up with Yana Nekrasova. Peter Drawn, or Mega Drawn, as we've called him a few times. Perhaps the tallest curling player on the international scene. Russian team coach Irina, also known as Turbo.
Turbo.
Yeah, well, she does track and field as a hobby, so maybe she was a bit of a sprinter back in the day, for all I know. It's not a bad nickname.
No, there are some worse ones out there.
like 10?
Yeah.
Sounded like you had a worse one, but
Just keep looking up.
I believe you didn't have a nickname, did you?
No,
Maybe you're just lying.
no.
Rachel Hannon, lead for Scotland on the intern here.
Nice. 5, 6, 4, needs to go a little bit.
Needing to really make every shot count here. Definitely need a score of 2 to get back in the game here. Russia effectively making this a very short game by blanking so many ends, leaving Scotland very little time to turn the game around. That was a very nice freeze by Rachel Hannon. You can see why she'll be joining Eve Muirhead for the World Women's in Swift Current.
Сильно валит.
Нормально, нормально. Не то чтобы прям очень сильно.
Не-не-не, с интурном. Чуть-чуть поуже. Ольга. Чуть-чуть совсем.
She was also the alternate for Eve Muirhead at
Давай, не вылетай из колодки.
European Curling Championships
Ну, они сильные,
last
но я
November
тогда прикрыла.
in Esbjerg, Denmark. So getting 2 trips to Denmark this season. Rachel Hannon. Oi,
Oh my.
that was quite the funky shot. Not sure if it was all that good though. Leaving a double corner guard. And Scotland being frozen onto that yellow on top 4. All of a sudden, a pretty good chance for Scotland to generate a multiple score. Rachel Halliday playing 96% on 6 draws so far. Should have a decent grasp of what the ice is going to do. Certainly has a bit of room here. Doesn't want to leave a double. I don't think they have.
Может, таким же?
Let's see a good piece of this redstone here.
Таким же?
Maria Komarova.
Ролл поймать, потому что они опять туда повезут. Нам надо, чтобы они за нашими тоже бегали.
Komarova having a bit of a struggle today. Especially on her upweight shots.
Поднять.
And this time maybe pulled it back a little too much.
Она сейчас наш выбьет.
See if it catches a piece. I think so. We'll spill her own yellow too though.
Зато снимем чужой.
Я не знаю, как ей щетку ставить, если она вот настолько начала.
But at least it releases that freeze. It's obviously
У
not
нас теперь нету фреза к нашему
ideal,
камню.
but
Их камень нормально, теперь фреза нету зато. Да, хорошо.
does do something.
Threw that one quite hard actually.
6, 7, with 9. Please hold there. Naomi, 6. Huge line.
And again,
Huge line. 7.
no big fur line on the draw here. Rachel Halliday.
Go, go, go. 7, 8.
Tons of room past the guard. Wanting to bring this one deep. Not to leave a double for Russia. I think she's done just enough. Don't think Vasilyeva is going to call for a double here. Fairly steep angle.
Черкаша, как Женя любит.
Давай, ролл.
Так нельзя.
Good hit and roll.
Мы закроем их.
Would you prefer to play the hit and roll off the center line stone or the one on the wing here?
I think I'd do the one on the wing.
Там, может, он будет очень далеко.
What do you think, Sander?
Yeah, I think so too. If you ever try to roll off the top one here and roll too far,
Прямая сторона.
you're leaving Scotland a chance to come around and sit 2 behind the corners. That's all sketchy.
I would agree.
О, поднять!
Maria Baksheva
О, это мимо.
calling off the sweepers here. I think we might have given them the old commentator's curse. Actually worse.
Eeks.
Fresh air experience.
Fresh air experience.
That is not what they were looking for there.
No.
Oh, just get.
Still got this, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too bad. She's been quite solid with her takeout so far.
Or get another one round.
I think go round. You think?
Like
here?
there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You don't need to hit that.
No. We like to. So.
Yeah, I like the draw here. No need hitting that
Slow slide,
yellow
loose.
on the wing. Already lying too.
You might need to go a bit.
3.
Try not to leave a double here, Alison.
Slice tight.
2, 3.
Yes.
High. As up as you can get it. Yes.
2, 3.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Keep it high. Keep it high.
Take a peek at the angles here.
Well, definitely curling more than the previous draws.
Oh my.
Just a bit short.
So thankfully for Russia, they're going to have the opportunity to throw the same shot again.
It's always a bit of a relief, though, isn't it? You make a big miss, and then your opponent does the same.
Когда помнишь, я клиром
Kind of what we discussed last end of Scotland, just not being able to capitalize on those misses.
Просто шутер оставить.
Yeah, you need to kick them while they're down.
На 0? Да. Нам главное шутер оставить.
Давай.
Хорошо. Что много очень шотки выглядит. Тут валит.
Да, я думаю, нормально. Если поднимем щетки, то...
So they might just see less of that stone on the wing now.
Блин, он на чем-то едет. Вот. Расслабься, выдохни. Вот.
Все хорошо.
With that previous draw attempt sort of overlapping the corner, so they will play the hit and roll off the center line stone. Switching up the turn here.
Да, до конца, девочки.
Да, до конца.
Do you prefer to throw the same shot again, or is changing the turn a smart idea?
I think I would prefer to throw the same shot again, but
Oh, there we go.
there you go.
Это было узко. Хорошо там камень.
I think because the other side was so straight, perhaps they felt like they wanted to throw the side where maybe they could have a little bit of control over.
I think what happened here is just what happened to Sophie Jackson in the previous end, where she was all positive on the first one. Well, the opposite, of course, but she was a little positive on the first one and a little soft on that second one.
Yeah.
I think they were playing the hit and roll, but ended up over curling. At least they had a good plan B there. Vasilyeva did a good job with the line call, and they're able to pull off the double instead.
Just didn't swing as much.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Scotland not quite being able to make good use of their chances, and at the same time Team Russia
Думаешь, так сильно?
just maybe slightly fortunate.
Вот этот удар ролл больше, они только стейс могут сделать. А мы повтор броска.
Ну, он там торчит с запасом.
Он даже с запасом. Средним бьем, средним сильным. Средний?
Нет, на 0.
Там не очень валит, да?
По-моему, очень валят.
Ну ладно.
Нам можно клир сделать. Чуть-чуть пошире. Если дальше чуть поуже еду, что ты это первое.
Да.
О! Поднять!
Поднять.
Контроль! Вес!
Контроль.
Контроль! Сип!
Контроль. Да.
Да!
Да.
Ролл, ролл! Да-да-да! Ролл! Да-да-да-да!
Молодец. Это чуть повыше был вес.
Супер,
Я
молодец!
просто туда уносился.
Да, давай, молодец.
If you could-
Ну, я привыкла.
If you try to double and you miss it, then it's like rubbish.
Yeah.
I need to make this one.
Don't mind going like that. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think so.
This one, so straighter.
Yeah.
Control for the roll, or do you want for guard?
Control probably.
So Russia making a nice shot there, rolling to the forefoot. I'd say if that rolled a couple of feet more, maybe Scotland would have taken a risk to come around the corner.
Control for the
Yeah,
roll.
yeah.
But
I like the double, but I just think you need to move this one.
No, this is good.
coming around the corner now, you might see Russia
Do you like this side?
put a tight guard on it
No,
or
I
something.
like this.
Well, then again, you kind of need to score though. 3 down. I think I might still like the draw.
Might see them go after it.
You're not going to score more than 1 doing this, I think. You're going to have to make a really, really good roll.
Solid, Carrier. Yep.
Another option is to freeze a shot, hope for a blast, and then you can maybe blank peeling out the last yellow out in the wing. This one's just going to roll out.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a very viable option.
No, I didn't like that that call. I think either one of the two that you just said were
Просто
a
привези
little bit
второй, и
more.
всё.
There were perhaps a little better options for her.
Они очень закрывают, у них валили.
Так же, да, Катя, Тыша?
Да.
Или тут, мне кажется, тут еще больше обваливает, поэтому
Ну,
нужно
вот
чуть-чуть слабеть.
Не
Второй
очень прям
вдох.
сильно.
Давай.
So Russia with a brilliant chance to split the rings. It's almost like she only needs to put this one anywhere in the house
Маша, свист.
for the force.
Молодец. Помочь.
Помочь!
Да-да-да.
Только линия.
Да-да-да. Да-да-да. Да-да-да.
Долго линия.
Еще,
Кать,
еще,
затирай,
уже
Катя,
прямо
Катя.
спрячем. Да-да-да. Да-да-да.
Давай. Да. Молодец.
Молодец.
Bring 20.
And Vasilieva does a nice job there.
15, 6 side moves quite a bit more. Okay. 20 should be okay. If I'm playing 10, actually, 20 should be fine. A good 20, yeah.
Is the speed still the same?
Yeah, I'd go 20.
Okay. Even with this huge shot?
Yeah, we're just saying that. Well, I played 10 down here, so you should be good at 20.
Okay.
15 isn't bad either.
Other problem with throwing a hit on her first one, Sophie Jackson. Might just make it a little harder to settle out for a draw. She would have played a draw on her first one. Maybe she would have had the better guess here. But Sweeper's looking quite happy here. Last stone of the 8th end. Rachel Hannon just lightly brushing it. And Sophie Jackson having the draw weight in the palm of her hands. No problem there. Scotland will score 1, but they'll still be trailing Russia by 2. So Russia very much in control with that 2-point lead. They will also now have last stone in the 9th end.
I think we just need one.
And while we're waiting, I'll update the other sheets. Sheet A, Japan is up 6-5 on Hungary, just taking a 2, playing the 8th end right now. Sweden, bit of a lineup change, so they swapped in Johanna Hjeldin for Michaela Altebro. And they are down right now 3-6 to Korea, so maybe trying to get some new momentum, try and pull off a win on this one. Down by 3 with hammer though, so perhaps. Sheet C, tied with last rock is the United States and Canada, 3-3. Sheet D, Switzerland is up 6-4 from Turkey. And they will have hammer in the 8th end right now. And that brings us to our sheet.
That's fine.
Yep, Scotland putting up a centre guard as expected, making good use of that free guard zone. If you haven't followed curling too closely, we have that rule where you're not allowed to hit any guards at the start of an end. Kuzmina will not be able to peel the guard, so instead she'll be coming around. Not allowed to start hitting guards until the 5th stone at every end.
Nice come around by Yekaterina.
What do you think?
That's very nice.
I
And I think Scotland
Yeah,
probably looking to put 2 centre guards up, but that first one just stopping halfway, it does not leave a lot of room to put a second one in there. And even if they were to do so, they'll be fairly grouped together. Could provide Russia with a very easy double peel. So therefore, electing to come around the stone top 8.
7, can't touch it. 7, 6, needs to go. 7,
This is really breaking.
And this is an excellent draw by Rachel Hannon.
Great shot.
Давай колодка.
А что, он чуть меньше половины видел?
Колодки, если что,
Давай.
если что, просто гард раскроете.
Если что, можно
I
пить.
think Kalotka means hack.
Устроит.
Нет, давай колодкой.
I think so too. Some people, our team, before we used to tap our foot for hack.
Разводка, Улька.
Just noticing she had the same body movement there, so perhaps she's also. Different teams have different signals. When the rink is quite loud, it's good to have body motions to say weights and lines, just in case you can't hear each other down the sheet.
Yeah, and they'll over curl here once more. Although splitting that yellow, maybe not entirely terrible. Having last stone here. What's the good end result for Russia in this end?
Well, obviously taking 2 here would be almost a sure thing for the win. Obviously, if they were to get a blank in this situation, that would be perfectly okay too. A 1 here is okay. They have few options. They just cannot afford to give up a steal here.
So making sure they at least score.
Yes.
Is that good game plan? Scotland, of course, on the other hand, looking to steal. Seeing some nice draws here from Scotland. Too bad they haven't been able to use it before.
Тут так будет прямо идти, я думаю.
Васильева.
Будет в конце только подваливать.
Давай, Маш, не вылетай.
With an experienced call here, I think, peeling in center guard.
Думаю, я тут плюсану, поэтому сразу не надо себе.
I think you'll see a lot of teams be tempted to try and get that rock that's on the forefoot right now. Ooh.
Oh boy. Just gonna tick the center guard there, I think.
Нормально было, не
You heard Vasilieva asking for the sweep to sweep it past and get one of the reds in the house instead. Komarova calling them off, and Andres Holt, they're just going to tick it over about a foot to the left as we saw it. That's maybe the worst way to miss that peel.
Peel tick. Yeah, she's blocked off her draw path now on the in-turn side. So she's got to do some damage control now.
Playing the slash, a double on the guards here. Could be careful not to spin this first red off the red onto their yellow on the right-hand side there. Not quite sure how those angles were lined up, but looks a little close for that to happen, as we see another disastrous shot by the Russian second. That is it. Almost hard to believe what's happening here. Just first of all ticked that first one a stone over, and now she's made the double on her own yellows. She's just having a very awful day at work.
Wow.
At the moment playing 47% with the player with the second lowest percentage on the ice today is Sophie Jackson at 72, so far behind, having a tough day at work. As we see Scotland again, just not really utilizing their misses. Really wanted that top four. Ends up throwing it deep. Team Russia now with those two mistakes. They're in a bit more trouble than they were hoping for. And they have called for a coach interaction just to make sure they tread carefully here.
Ну и что, ты хоть мне раскроешь центр? Я не знаю, что делать после машинного броска. Тебе все равно надо ставить щетку, чтобы он сюда валил.
Это надо, чтобы вот здесь пошел, да?
Ну а как он еще должен пойти? Тут гар стоит. Ну хотя бы вот это разнести, чтобы наш сначала-то. Но они второй повезут.
Ну хоть как-нибудь. Если что, ошибка в пилу вот этого.
Вести сюда самим.
Мне кажется, лучше разносить. Пока мой первый даже, надо что-то бить.
Может, привезем?
А у нас тренер-то идет?
Вон, идет, да. Где у нас тренер?
После пил машины страшно что-либо делать. Трипл стоит, мне кажется.
So not Irina Kolesnikova, aka Turbo, coming out, but rather Alexei Chesolov.
То я сказала.
Потом будет позже, поздно. Либо просто пил одного и ждем
А вот это вот то, что мы смотрели в
дырку.
Он прям тут.
Ошибка в пил того.
Да, ошибка.
Ошибка, получается, пил только одного будет.
Сколько мы можем отдать? Мы можем отдать два.
Нам может
Вот
разносить.
этот не опасный, когда.
Может, разносить лучше?
Вот эти
Ты привезешь сейчас или нет? Что ты чувствуешь?
Не уверена, я давно не
Снимаем
возьму.
тогда его. В дырку не попадете.
Чё?
Пытаемся попасть, снимаем, если что.
А если что,
центральный.
чирк-чирк.
Ошибка чирк, да. Чирк-чирк центральный. Потом идем сознательно, если риск будет, идем на -1, дальше готовься, все расчищай сторону, если будет ровный счет, просто...
Well, Alexei here, having played numerous of championships through the years.
Он стоит прям вот
9 Europeans and 1 World Men's Championships, to be exact. Having starting off in the B group in 1995. And we talked about the good old backswing, the left delivery earlier. I believe he still does it,
Okay.
having played him on the tour in recent years. At least seen him. Should have enough experience to help the girls out here. Although couldn't quite understand what the call was.
I believe we're going through the hole.
Going through the hole, and then plan B is
Take
ripping the guards.
Yep.
We'll take the guard.
Может уже. Кать, может быть, сейчас на матче надо уже крысить?
This side glides quite a bit, so we can take them. As long as we get a good release on it.
Big trouble for the Russians, although you will see that the button is fairly open. So if they're having trouble with the peels here, you might see Russia change up their tactic and play that out-turn draw before it's too late. Certainly if I was Scotland, at some point you'd like to come into the house here. You know, you don't want to leave that out-turn tap for one on the swingy part of the ice.
Sorry. It's okay there, though. It's okay.
Yeah, with effectively 3 guards along the center line.
Хотя бы
You might see
отрезать
Russia
эти
try it
два
already
гада.
now. Yeah. I think you might have to.
Хорошо, Маш? Если что, ну вот
Time's
сюда
running out a little bit.
Но они все равно повезут фриз. Или сюда лучше.
Я понимаю.
Надо сюда.
Чуть слабее. Сначала
Да.
идет нормально, потом слабее.
Так, тут должно валить.
И валит. Тут
Я думаю,
валит.
что можно на 10-11.
Russia are lying 2 up.
Если тут колодка sильно
So even
валит.
if they give away a steal of 2, I guess it's not. You still have the last one coming home. Even a steal of 1 here is not too bad actually. 1 up with a hammer.
Катя идет хорошо, хорошо. А как вообще, Катя? Я не водила вообще. Ну, средний. На 9, наверное. На 0 делать. 9 лучше.
Just haven't been executing the peels.
Очень сильно.
Если что, у тебя там упор есть. внизу.
Looking for the draw. Just freeze it right onto the button here. I believe Scotland knew this could have been coming, but they just needed to take that risk and hope for a miss. This is a key shot here, right here. It's way out there, but should swing big at the end.
Looks pretty close.
Нет, нельзя. Нельзя. Нельзя.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Great shot.
Wanting that to curl maybe half a rock more, but I gotta say that it is.
Back it, wait.
That certainly helps them quite a bit. It's tough to throw those shots under so much pressure.
10 for Sylvie?
Yeah. I think so.
Or even 05? What do you think?
Maybe a touch less. Yeah.
He was able to throw the perfect weight.
Bumping it back a bit.
Wanted to curl a few touches more. We'll see if Sophie Jackson has a chance to come to the inside of the yellow and tap it out. I think there's enough swing there.
Yeah.
That's still a pretty.
Still tough.
Exactly.
At the start, like 10? Yeah. Good 10.
Do you think this is okay?
Yeah, I think that's good.
She does seem to have a good grasp of her draw weight now.
Line's okay.
Sophie Jackson throwing 72 so far this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa.
I think it's got a curl.
Whoa. Swing. It's okay. Swing. Hard, Naomi.
That's okay.
That's okay like that.
Well, not quite enough. Leaving Russia lying shot, but with 1 more to come, as it lies, Scotland could play
Может,
a tap on that first stone throw by Sophie Jackson and potentially Eli 5.
Потому что нет.
Вот так вот привозим, просто 4 до.
Если мы оставляем хоть...
I wouldn't say Russia is completely out of trouble yet.
то она пробивает, и у нас минус 4, да, минус 3, минус 4. С 12 или больше? Но она будет, скорее всего, вести. Или пробовать.
Давай, Гад.
Может, просто дро 4 фута до. Просто.
Мне кажется,
Russia
надо
definitely
Гад.
has a great opportunity here to hit and roll if they wanted to.
Тут может плохо ехать.
I think they might offer a draw here.
У нас там минус 1.
Просто Dream Team. А?
Maybe
Да, плюс 1. Да, мы прячем. То, что...
they're just drawing top 4 here. Well, taking quite a lot of ice. They might just be guarding actually.
Пошире поставим.
I think they might be. Taking one here is, like we said, it's great.
I'd be tempted to come into the house here though, Alison. If I haven't quite looked at the options yet. If there's any way Scotland might play a run back of sorts to lie 5, this guard might just choke off that draw.
I completely agree. I think once we get a bit of a tighter look, then maybe we can take a peek at all these
And this
angles that maybe Scotland has going for them.
Well, to be fair, they don't have a whole lot actually. Question is how is it possible to get to the red on the out turn? Looks pretty tough.
It looks pretty tough.
Could you run either of those red stones back though?
I don't think it's on.
A long guard through the hole or the tight guard?
I just think you were quite close to that line.
I'm not sure
I guess
that's
if
there.
you scrape past the guard, then you'd be fine.
The long guard's there for sure, but that is a very tough
Yeah.
shot.
No, the shot that they're looking at right now
Ah.
with the hack weight,
From the
I
hack,
really don't think that's there. I could be wrong, but
What is it? Do you not think this is there anymore?
I don't know. You've got to get round it.
definitely that center guard
I
run
think
in
you'd only come to here.
to catch the
What?
outside of that red on the 4.
I just think they're totally like blown there.
That's one option.
You could just go for it. It still moves
Yeah.
a bit down here.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think so.
Okay.
So I think this is pretty tough, like
Yeah.
to come round there.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's
you've got
what I
that
think
there.
And I don't think
I
that's
don't think you
on.
would
Have
have
much of
that
this
either.
either or that one.
But if you're Scotland,
Just
you
as close to the guard as you can.
don't really want to be
As close to the
giving
guard
up
as you can, then I'll just pop
another
it.
point
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
with only one end
Think.
left to play.
I know, but
No.
you can't really see
think-
enough of it as you think you can.
Yeah.
Same way as my last one.
Yeah.
What was that, like back 12?
Sorry?
Was that like back 12?
That was like back 12, yeah.
Okay.
Same weight, I think.
Where did you get me from
I
that?
guess you're there, but
It's
it kind of
interesting
came
that
up
long.
that
See the long
stone,
ones,
so-
not the other
I
end.
think
Look to
at
the
this
right,
point,
look there, it's
probably be
still
happy to tap
Never
this up.
swiped it really.
Just a live shot, but ideally you like to punch that yellow one to the 12 foot and try and fit 3 or 4.
Okay. Did you give me
Yeah. I think there. Yeah. That's good.
That certainly looks tough from the hack,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Sometimes you might even see the skip change their mind after making their way down to the hack, just realizing, you know what, this is not going to work.
Which I think is what just happened.
It's very often though,
This is, I think
I'd say
What time did I play?
you underestimate how much finish you get around the guard.
This is a slither.
I think it probably is there, just about.
yeah.
If you can catch a third of that with backline, it should be possible.
Well, they did say back 12, so even less weight to try and grab some of that.
Yeah,
curl.
Be a bit of the hero shot here from Sophie Jackson. Last stone for Scotland in this 9th end. Needs to get fairly tight to the guard, but I believe they have over curled by quite a bit here already. And Russia already lying one. I'm going to go ahead and guess they're not going to throw this last one.
Yeah, just throw it away.
I don't see much, at first glance anyway, I don't see much for them to do.
Ты что сделаешь, не надо.
Блин, сейчас пил бы.
Прокидываем. После Комарова, как тебя Бог спас?
Любит меня.
You'll see, I'm just going to indicate, yeah, now turn Peel away from everything. Very, very happy to score one here. Uliana Vasilyeva and Team Russia. They will be up 3 coming into the 10th end. Oh, finally getting some drama here, Alison, after quite the open played first half of the game.
Scotland in need of 3.
Машка, соберись, пожалуйста. Я, конечно, тоже косяка дала.
Got a ways to go.
Но не что-то. Да.
You know, if I was Maria Komarova, I'd be very relieved
У нас плюс 3.
at this point.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
Я первый съезжу, ты второй
pretty
съезжай.
tough 2 shots she had there. Couldn't have been too happy with her performance.
Так даже захочешь пробить, как я пробила, не получится.
Но если ты говоришь, я плюсану и плюсуешь так, то неудивительно. Ты даже предупреждаешь нас перед броском, что ты это сделаешь.
Да.
Looks like Russia will just throw this first one through. Would you care to explain why Russia are not wanting their Yellowstones in play here?
Yeah, they're up by 3 points. They don't need any more rocks in play. They don't need to take points. They don't want to give up any points. So basically leaving your rocks in the house are just more of an opportunity for Scotland to freeze or come around or use them to their advantage. So it's best just to keep the whole end as open as possible.
What kind of lead do you throw both stones through? And at what kind of lead would you like to throw a stone to the forefoot?
I think a lead by 3, you're looking throw them both through.
I guess how they're playing now, Scotland will get a pretty easy chance to score 2. I guess Russia throws this one through. Scotland comes around the guard. Peel, guard, all the way through. Scotland scores 2, but it's not going to be good enough.
Right.
But saying that, Russia's going to have to make their peels, though.
Yes. And Maria's going to have to park what happened last end and really try and focus on her 2 shots coming up this end.
Of course, just like Russia will have to make their appeals. You'll see Scotland having to put up those guards and draws perfectly, time and time again, if they want a chance to score 3.
Real quick update on the other sheets. Coming into the last end, Japan is up 1 without hammer against Hungary, 7-6. Sweden is down 2 without hammer against Korea. Korea up 7-5. The United States is down 1 with hammer in the last against Canada, 4-3. And Switzerland and Turkey still playing in the 9th. Switzerland is up 7-4 without hammer.
И пошире стала.
So, Scotland putting up that corner guard again. And Russia not wanting to be too cute, throwing the double, keeping to the simple peels. And we'll have a very nice pair of corner guard peels from Maria Komarova here, making up for her mistakes in the previous end. Shows great mental strength, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So easy to become frustrated and fixated on what's happened in the past.
Keep going. Hard. Keep going, girls. Hard, hard, hard. Go, go, go. Right over. Hard, 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 hard. Okay, good there. Good.
At what point should Scotland consider coming around the guard rather than putting up the corner?
Well, right now they're hoping for a miss. But we're slowly running out of rocks and needing to score 3. They're going to need to wrap one around by Weiss's first rock.
I think we're coming to that point now. Naomi Brown's first throw will be then turn draw around the guard. At least they will be able to throw the draw around the guard on the curly side here. This one pulling up short, however. I can only really sit back and hope that Russia doesn't make the double. They're certainly going to go for it here. Maria Baksheva. Big extension as well. And there you go. What a cracking shot from the Russian third. That pretty much kills it.
Yep.
Scotland has 3 stones left and having to score with all 3.
Great shot.
Well, this one needs to find the house.
And I'm not sure we'll make it. But that being said, still in play. So
yeah, it's a borderline splittable.
I'm not sure, but it's close.
I mean, if
But
if you just hit this one, the game's over.
yes.
Even though it might be physically impossible to get 3 now. I'll just wait one more. And I believe with the level of play Uliana Vasilyeva has shown today, I don't think this is going to be a problem whatsoever. And there you go. Corner guard will be peeled off. And
That's game over.
yeah, I'd say an interesting game of sorts. First 5 ends, very open, not very much happening. Russia just really sticking to their game plan. And when they had a chance to score big, they did. Picking up a crucial win. That will move them to 3 wins, 3 losses And Scotland moves to 1 win, 5 losses, now very much in danger of being relegated. If you stick around, we'll get you some highlights from this matchup. And of course, we might get a few words with the winning skip, Juliana Vasiljeva. We're going to have, I'm just going to run through the other scores in the arena here. Kastrup Curling Hall. Japan-Hungary on sheet A. That game is finished. We saw Hungary scoring a 2 in the 10th end to win over Japan, 8 shots to 7. On sheet B, you'll see some yellow shirts in the background there. That's Sweden playing Korea. Korea is 2 up with last stone, looking for their 6th win straight. On sheet C, USA 1 down with last stone against Canada. Very much a good chance for the United States to beat unbeaten Canada. And we also saw Switzerland beat Turkey 10 shots to 4. So there you have the scoreline from our future game. Pretty much binary code up until the 7th end, where Russia scored that big 3. And Scotland had a great chance in the 9th end to put some real pressure on Russia, and still just couldn't quite pull it off. If you make sure to visit the official website for scores and photos. Just go to worldcurling.org/WJCC 2016. Two blank ends to start off with between Scotland and Russia. So skipping along to the 3rd end, we see Juliana Vasiljeva throw the out-turn draw to score 1. Bit more action in the 4th end, as we saw Sophie Jackson with a great chance to score 2. Just over curling. Good enough to score 1, however. Tie game after 4. Another couple of blank ends as we reach the 7th end. Juliana Vasiljeva would be able to play that in-turn draw to score a big 3. And in the 8th end, Russia, having split the house, forcing Sophie Jackson to take her 1 with a lovely draw to the 1 foot, trailing by 2. In the 9th end, a whole bunch of red stones. As we see 3rd player for Russia with this key shot to save the end after a few horrible misses by the Russian 2nd player. Sophie Jackson not able to play that tap on the red. So Vasiljeva throwing the last one away, scoring 1. Team Russia doing a great job of peeling all the guards in the 10th end. No chance for Scotland to score their 3. And would end with a final score, 5 shots to 2 for Team Russia. Now a few words with 3rd player, Baksheva.
Congratulations on your game. A defensive style of play, is that something your team feels more comfortable playing?
Yeah, for us, sorry for my voice. Yeah, for us it's okay. We like to throw hits, so we like this game.
It was a close game until the 7th end when you scored 3 points. What was your strategy coming into this game?
We tried to play more easily because first games were not successful for us, so now we play more easy.
Can we expect to see the same lineup coming into the next game?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Thanks.
Well, that was all the curling action we had for today. I hope you join us again tomorrow. We'll have Switzerland play Korea in the men's draw at 2 o'clock local time. And for us here at the World Curling TV, we'll hope you will watch the rest of the World Juniors here in Tårnby, Denmark.